Welcome back to Halmstad, Sweden for the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships 2018. And we are here for the 63 kilogram women. And this is going to be one exciting session. I know I say that every session, Elliot, but every session seems to get more and more exciting. But this one's been shaping up for a whole year now.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really exciting. You know, one of the things that we're looking for here is Larissa Solovyova, one of the greatest lifters in the history of the sport. I think you probably want to put her in certainly the top 20 of all time. She should, if she hits her lifts and does what she needs to do, she will win this class. She's looking to do a number of different things. One, wants to try to come out with world record in total. She wants to try to obviously shoot for a high Wilks, and she's tried to get over 700, never been over 700 before. She wants to, but she's also in the running for best lifter, and that's the number one thing for her because she knows she can win this gold medal no matter what. You know, even on a bad day last year, she was hurt, she still won, but if she goes 6:26.5,
that'll be enough. That'll certainly enough. Put her in the running.
That puts her in the gold medal position for champion of champions. Will be some countries called best lifter.
Yep.
Solidly in first place. It's probably going to be rough for any woman to beat her when she's in the 60s.
Yeah, it'll certainly be tough to beat. Well, we are 20 seconds away from getting started here in Sweden. And, of course, a big thank you to Aliko, who have really raised the bar. It looks fantastic here. This is an absolutely really special competition to be here and broadcasting on the Olympic channel for the first time in history. And of course, Uplift and SBD, everyone making these competitions what they are and making them possible. And we are underway with Shan Chong Chow of Chinese Taipei, 150 kilograms on the bar and well under her personal best of 200 kilograms. Let's see if we can get these first ones out of the road. Hopefully the yard will be a little bit cleaner than this morning's session in the squat. Hasn't given herself a whole lot of time to set up if anything goes wrong. But sets up very quickly. Depth looks good from this angle, and that looks like a very easy opening lift.
Very easy.
Yes, that's a good lift. 180 kilo on the bar.
And if you are watching this at home on Facebook, switch over to olympicchannel.com and watch it for the first time in history on the Olympic channel.
Realize they're opening. This is the second opening attempt, and we're at 3 times body weight.
These all week so far, these have been absolutely huge numbers. So Mayumi Kitamura from Japan, 180 kilograms. 180 on the bar. Now, we have quite a number of masters lifters in this flight competing at this high level. And she smokes 180. 3 white lights. Johanna Aguinaga from Ecuador, 195 kilograms.
Followed in 1 minute.
And the bar's loaded. Here she comes up the ramp. That ever so difficult walk with knee wraps on.
So she's opening at 195. Last year she finished with 207.5.
And the Ecuador coach looking on with an eagle eye. He's had a very, very busy week.
Wow, Marcos Sanchez looked really beaten up. during the
coaching all week.
Well, he
then
lifted in the
competing the last session. Now
session.
straight back into the coach's role.
And he definitely has something wrong with his hip or back or something. There you go, 2-1.
It's on the board at 195. Now Matilda Vilmar from Sweden, 200 kilograms. These lifts just keep getting bigger and bigger, and the world open record is 241. The world junior record 225. The world masters M1 record 230, and the M2 record 205.
And at European, she just did 215.5 for a European junior record.
So 200 kg.
And she's being coached by the new world record holder in the bench press.
Just surrounded by absolute champions here today and this week.
I mean, at this level in the sport, the elite level of powerlifting, most of a good portion of the referees and coaches are great competitors at this moment.
Huge smile on her face. She knows she's got this opening lift. 2 white lights, and it's on the board. Lydia Yats from Russia, 200 kilograms. And for all those viewers listening in Russia, it's a holiday in Russia today and Belarus. It is a holiday for the October Revolution.
I mean, on our jury table, our 5-man jury table that oversees the 3 referees on the platform, we have Tatiana Melnick, who I believe did she win the World Games last year? Came in close. And Isagawa-san from Japan, who is one of those greatest, you want to talk about 20 of all time, is sitting there. So you definitely have experience on that jury table.
Good speed through that squat, and it should be 3 white lights, and it is. It's on the board.
So you hear my voice is a little hoarse. I'm wheezing a little bit. I told you I had a good story for you. Very, very PG-13, so
Is
it's
there
okay.
ever a time you don't have a good story?
I generally don't run out.
Natalia Alenovska from the Ukraine, 207.5.
Start with a new PB attempt in squats.
So this is a PB for her right here, opening right away. And again, with young lifters, you can do that. So she is 20 years old at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of she's the youngest lifter in this flight.
Look at how tight her setup is. Look at how tight her elbows are.
Those hands are touching her shoulders. They are so tight. The speed was good, the weight was good, but not deep enough. And the coach knew that as he walked over to wait for the lights to see if they got lucky. Elena Jorgensen from Norway, 207.5 as well.
So Lena's coming out here.
Had a little bit of room to move. A personal best of 217.5, so she's got a little bit of room to move in this one. Just hooking the rack a bit on the way out there, getting a little bit off balance, but handles it like a true professional. And
That's very good there.
Lights.
There you
go. Larissa Salilova from the Ukraine, 220
That is
kilograms.
a great squat right there. And she was telling when she came off, she wants her racks in.
Yeah, so the rack position was not where she wanted it, and that will explain why she just clipped the rack as she stood out.
When she comes out, when she comes out, we'll explain that again. Here comes Larissa Solovyova. So again, she does what she needs to do. Makes probably 6 attempts. She's going to win the gold. So her real thing coming here right now, try to get world record total if she can, and become best lifter. Remember, we said she needs 626.5.
Well, she needs to get this one on the board to get her campaign started. And she's getting that bar as tight into her shoulders as she can. Has hands in close. Very, very tight and neat setup.
So if she makes her opener, she only needs another 46.5 kilos to win Champion of Champions.
Weight looks good. Let's see if she was deep enough. And she
There
is.
you
2
go.
to 1.
2 to 1. That's a great. Now watch this. Watch her style. Watch how far out her knees go. How deep she drops into that.
Driving the knees out. They never collapsed in once.
Not at all. And that comes from training.
Coaches.
Carola Gara from Italy, 220 kilograms.
Tavares, next lifter.
So her PB in internationals is 222.5, so she's right on it. Yeah, and Larissa's just pacing herself here. She's put in a 2:30 second, so that's good for her.
Just got a little bit caught up in the midsection there, but managed to muscle through it.
Yes.
And it gets the 3 white lights to go on the board.
Still 220, but the record for Sierra Tavares, Brazil.
Cicera Tavares from Brazil, 220 kilograms as well.
Followed in 1 minute, Sierra Tavares, Brazil.
Got a personal best of 230.
Adamovich, next lifter.
She is really focused for this lift. And that's something coaches really have to manage. How excited, how psyched up, how motivated they are for each lift. You get a little bit over motivated too early in the competition. Can drain the energy a bit too much. And she handles that very well. 220, that should be a good lift.
I mean, you want to be
Not quite deep enough.
Wow.
Gets 2 red lights there.
Yeah, and we were talking the other day. It's the same thing we were talking about. That we were seeing a lot of 1 red for depth, 1 red for depth, 1 red for depth. Everybody got an attempt in pretty much. We've got 2 who haven't yet. I'm assuming Adamovich here is going to make this 222.5.
So Olga Adamovich from Russia, 222.5. Well within her grasp. She's a personal best of 237.5.
But we have to be really careful here. They have to be really careful because those very easily can turn into 2 red lights on the second and third attempt because referees sit there and go, wait a second, let me take a closer look. One of the other referees flipped 1 red.
Depth looks very good. Sunk it in really fast.
Yes,
But it gets the job done with 3 white lights. So we'll come around for their second attempts now with Zhang Tongchu, Chinese Taipei at 160 kilograms. So only 2 openers missed.
Followed in 1 minute.
160 kilograms. You can see here what we talk about being ready to go once bar loaded is called. They've called bar loaded. She's still out the back getting gear ready. We're down to 43 seconds on the clock, and even though that's a lot of time, by the time she gets there, we're going to be at 30 seconds. And there's not a lot of time if the referees are asking you to re-rack or making you wait for something. Even though that 30 seconds is enough time to set up, it's not enough time if something goes wrong. 160 on the bar. Gets back to the top without too much trouble, and the referees say 2 white lights, that's a good lift.
192.5 kgs on the bar record for
Mayumi Katamura from Japan, 192.5. Opened at 180.
Loaded, 1 minute.
Hitting 192.5.
Japan.
20 years experience competing.
Aguinaga, next lifter.
This lady knows exactly what she's doing.
And unfortunately, see, she's wearing the pink shirt. She and her boyfriend are known as the pink couple. He also wears all pink gear. He doesn't have the pink shoes, but wears all pink gear. He came here, older gentleman. He is came here, probably will be his last trip here. He is sick with cancer. He came here for that and just wanted to see her. Want to see Mayumi compete for one last time. He is unfortunately in hospital, being treated. Coming here from Tokyo has been very rough on him, but we hope he's at least able to get home.
And I hope they're broadcasting it live to his room so he can watch all of this. And there's 3 white lights on the board. And the one thing we can say about powerlifting, it is a really, really tight-knit community. When things like this happen, it affects everyone.
1 minute.
Joanna Aguinaga from Ecuador, 205 kilograms.
Yeah, we just this time last week, we just lost Mike Licciardi, who was a Category 1 referee who helped start the NAPF. So, there was a message from the IPF. They talked about it at the GA meeting. So it is a very, very tight community, unlike most other sports where we compete against each other, but off the platform, we're all good friends.
And gets the 3 white lights there. Natalia Aronovska from the Ukraine now, 210 kilograms. Missed the 207.5 as an opener. Just throwing on an extra couple of kilos to try and push down through those knee wraps.
Well, and we really have to watch Tavares coming in here to the second attempts. She opened at 220, missed for depth, went up to 225. In other words, 5 kilos to help her, but she's got to make that up because she's got a shot at being on the medal stands. Silver definitely, possibly, depending on if Solovyova makes a mistake, could win there. But missing that attempt, she had to go up anyway to do it. Right now, Natalia's up 210 kilos.
That looked better depth-wise. Let's have a look.
Sorry.
And again, 2 red lights, no lift, and under all sorts of pressure now. And Matilda Vilma from Sweden, 212.5 kilograms. The Ukrainian coach is going to go and talk to the jury panel.
Loaded, 1 minute. Matilda Vilma, Sweden, 212.5.
212.5 for Matilda Vilma from Sweden.
So I think here she hits this. Her third attempt is probably going to be to extend her own European junior squat record, and then she's going to come back in the bench press. She's your world junior record holder, so we're going to look for her there to be in there again.
Depth looks good. Knees just tracking in a little bit, but it didn't seem to affect it too much. 2 white lights and it's on the board. I've just seen a little bit of movement in the jury as well regarding the Ukrainian lifter. Might be asking some questions there. We'll let you know what happens with that. But our next lifter, Elina Jorgensen from Norway, 212.5.
This already exceeds, at European, she did 207.5, so she's well ahead of that pace right now.
And you can see the focus, concentration, and strength alone it just takes to walk that bar out. So she handles the weight pretty well. And referees have been pretty tough on depth, but she gets this one at 2 white lights and it's on the board.
Still 212.5 kg on the bar. Record
So we were talking about saying about my voice and a good story. So, start out saying that I found out what happens when you plug a 110 appliance into a 220 outlet. But right now, Lydia's up at 212.5 kilos.
Let's lift her.
I told you it's a PG story. It's not safe, but it is a PG story.
212.5 kilograms for Lydia from Russia. Very quick lift.
Beautiful.
Handles that well. And she builds on her personal best and adds a bit more to it. And now we move to 225 for Cecília Tavares from Brazil. 225 kilos getting loaded up there.
I believe Cecília came in with the third highest nominated total, I think.
Yeah, look, she's got a personal best at 230. 225 is getting pretty close to that now. So I don't think, I don't imagine there's going to be an easy lift. She didn't struggle with 220. It was just a depth thing. Weight wasn't a problem. Yeah, but this is important. She needs to put this on the board.
Yeah, and right now she owns the equipped and classic Masters 1 world records in squat. So she is a squatter. That's why you're that confident you can take a 5 kilo jump, even when you miss an opener of 220.
Well, let's see if it works. Drops into it. Struggled a little bit through the middle. Well, let's see what the referees say about this one.
Sorry.
And again, no lift, and it's put herself under pressure.
I want to see this again.
Yeah, look, the Brazilian coach wants to as well. He's going to the jury panel to have a bit of a look.
John is 27.5
All right, there was one card. There was one card for the bar dip. Did not dip. There was
And
another
one
card for
dip.
depth. I did not see that at all, especially from the front.
Carola Gara, Italia, 227.5. Doesn't look like the jury panel is going to move on that one.
I mean, I don't think it's something that's overturnable, but part of the reason is that it's so tough is that it's that lift really by the rules is not overturnable because it's not egregious, but it's not the correct call. And I haven't said how many lifts have we said? I haven't said that once yet. Well, I'm saying that here.
227.5. Stands back up quickly.
Yes,
And
that's
it's
it.
2 white lights on the board. Larissa from the Ukraine now, 230 kilograms on the bar.
Followed in 1 minute.
.230 kilograms, taking her time to get set up there. She wants to pull that bar in as tight as she can, get those hands in as close and elbows tucked, and get that whole system tight. Takes that deep, deep breath. Has to work hard, but she gets it back to the top.
And the ref is the same. That's the
And it's a
clear.
good lift.
232.5
Olga
kilograms on the bar.
Adamovich
Olga
from Russia, 232.5.
Followed in 1 minute. Adamovich.
I mean, we're not seeing anything crazy in these attempt selections here
Next lifter.
at all. There's nothing that's going up on the board now. The one thing that we're going to see, remember, Tavares is easily in the bronze, could push for silver or even gold. Missed to 220, went up to 225, has now jumped to 242.5 to try to stay in this, because her goal is to come in here and get that bronze.
And 2:42.5 will also be a world record, I believe.
It will be.
Yes, that's good lift for
And Olga gets that one on the board at 2:32.5. And that's a really big call from Tavares, though. Not just adding weight for that third, even though missing the first two lifts, to actually attempt a world record on that third without having got a first or a second lift.
Yeah, and that's not her record either. If it was her record, it would be one thing.
It's going to be 20 minutes break between the squat and the bench.
So we are coming around now into our third round of squats. Shan Tong Chow, Chinese Taipei, 162.5.
Now again, she's the Masters 1 record holder, equipped and classic, but this is still 12.5 kilos over her best. And I know that she probably came in here wanting that open record, and realistically, she needs that open record to try and get silver. But if she misses it, then she can't even get on the medal stand and get bronze.
Depth looks good. You know, only a small jump from a second to a third, but I think it was a smart move. She may have had a little bit more in the tank, but she's still got a little bit of energy up her sleeve for the bench and the deadlift now. Mayumi Kitamura from Japan, 202.5 kilograms.
See, and that's what I was saying about Tavares' lift. I haven't been militant about any of the calls the entire time that we've been here so far. This is our third day, Gary.
Well, it's, you know, as you know, it's a tough job out there on the platform.
Of course, 100%.
You get a split second to make a decision. You don't get to re-look at it. You see what you think you see, and you have to make a call on it.
But I think there are some times where some referees' standards are the wrong standard. It's one thing to be a tough referee and a fair referee and having your own way to call things.
202.5 is on the bar. She stands it back up. It's a fight, but she gets it there. She's got the experience to work through it, and she gets the three white lights. And that's where experience pays off. Now Natalia Aronovska from the Ukraine, 210. She missed her opener. She missed her second, and now she's under so much pressure to put this one on the board. Has to get this one on the board. She knows she can handle the weight. It's not an issue with the weight. She has to just have the confidence to sink it right down and not give the referees any reason to doubt. Has to work for it. That looked a little better. Let's see if it was, and it was, and it's on the board. She saves her neck on that one. Joanna Aguanaga from Ecuador, 215 kilograms.
Loaded 1 minute.
And the bar is loaded at 215. You know, just keep watching the coach walk up the ramp. He has had such a busy week so far. Then to come out and compete this morning and straight back in the coach's uniform, walking up the ramp with his athlete again.
I don't know how he does it. I mean, because this is constant at every meet.
And there's so many people at these meets, coaches and athletes alike. They're just so committed to the sport. And she stands it up well. 215, and it's on the board with three white lights. And Lena Jørgensen from Norway, 217.5. This is a much cleaner board than we saw this morning.
Much cleaner in the squats.
Equal with her TV in the squats.
We're all waiting for Tavares just to see more, to see if she can get it on the board rather than the world record. That's the most important thing at the moment for her, is to actually get it on the board.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's great we have an open world record attempt there, but again, I'm the same way. I want to see her get on the board. I want to see her push Solovyova. I want to see her, have the opportunity to get onto the medal stand more than I want to see the world record there.
It's tough. She's driving it up. She hasn't quit yet. She's going to work it all the way to the top, and she does. Was it deep enough? I really hope it was. And it wasn't deep enough. And we talk about misses and missed lifts, how much energy they draw out of you. And she just used so much energy grinding that lift all the way to the top, not to get the weight. Matilda Vilma from Sweden now, 220. So this is a personal best. She's got a 215.5. So the 215.5 is a record. But now looking at 220 to build on that personal best. A 215.5 is probably most likely a Swedish national record.
I would assume.
Takes that big breath and pushes into the belt. Knees tracking a little bit, but she managed to hold them. Big smile on the face and a big shout and 3 white lights. Now we load the bar to 220 for Lydia Leotis from Russia.
Loaded, 1 minute, sights, Russia.
220 kilos on the bar, well over a personal best of 210 kilograms. She went down fast into it to get some depth. She got the acceleration out, and she gets it on the board. Carola Gara from Italy, 232.5. We talk about athletes playing the long game and really thinking ahead. We've seen Olga from Russia has put in 240 for a third attempt. The record's 241. She could have gone 241.5 and take a crack at the record. She's playing it smart. She's looking at 240. It's a better odds of getting it on the board, and would much rather get that extra several kilos than take a crack at a record and miss out.
Well, the other thing is she can get up on the medal stand too.
That's
so
right. This puts her in a much better position.
So she goes 240 and makes it. It works out better for her. Also, she doesn't have a great bench press, so she wants to go 3 for 3 in there and then try to pull some stuff.
That's right. You put 241.5 and miss it, you've lost 8 kilos.
Yep. Exactly.
So Gara from Italy, 232.5. Just struggling to get the balance there, but she's given herself enough time. There we go. Nope, still can't quite get the balance. And she has time. She's still got 8 seconds on the clock. I think she's going to time out though.
Time.
And she will. She'll time out. She'll be disappointed with that.
Sorry.
Just couldn't quite get a balance there. Couldn't quite get the bar where she wanted it.
No, not at all.
When you've got that sort of weight on your back, it only takes something to be just a little bit off. And yeah, but right now we have a world masters record attempt.
So not only to add insult to injury, Tavares does not have a lift in yet, and Solovyova, if she hits this, takes Tavares' M1 record.
So this will be for a world record. Solovyova from the Ukraine, 237.5.
Next lifter.
If she hit this, she's taking her boyfriend and her lunch money.
Gets the start command. She's having to work, but she gets it up. Let's see what the depth was like. It was right on the edge.
Right on the line. There you go.
It was just not
There
deep
you go.
enough.
Nope.
A Ukrainian coach having a bit of a chat to the jury here.
Now let's see the replay here.
Yeah, we talk about such a close-knit community. We saw the Ukrainian coach go over to the jury panel there. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet there.
Now, we had a white light on the side that we saw. That was a white light. That was in. The red lights came from the center and the other side. So we know this side was in, but we don't know what else they saw.
Well, Olga Adamovich from Russia, 240 kilograms.
I think they may be overturning
and the jury's
lift.
moving. They might overturn.
Yeah, I think
Right
believe they
now,
have overturned
Olga's having to
Solovyova.
work. She's still pushing. She's still working. Just couldn't quite get there. And
All right,
that has been
Solovyova's lift is in.
overturned.
That's 237. That's a big swing right there.
So 237.5 from Solovyova is in. It was overturned. It is a world record. And right now, Tavares is going to try and push a world record, not just for the world record, but to save her skin here in the squat. She hasn't registered a squat yet.
Now this will set an open world record and take back the Masters world record that Larissa just took from her.
She needs this more than anything. This is not just a record. This is a lift to save her situation here. She is in all sorts of trouble.
I mean, she has the strength to do this. She's never done this in competition. She has the strength to do it. If there's anyone that can do this, come back, other than Solovyova in this flight, I would put my money on Tavares to do it. She is very, very tough. Brazilians are well coached, well trained. Technique is spot on. They spent a lot of time training with the Russians over the last 5 or 6 years, and you can see the big improvement in the Brazilian team. So let's see what she does here with the world record attempt, 242.5.
Just knees tracked forward a little there and lost a balance. What a disappointing way for her to end her squat campaign or her competition today.
Well, and now it throws everything into a little bit of disarray because you had one of the favorites in the event now cannot register a total and win the medal in total, can still take a medal in the bench press and in the deadlift.
Yeah, so look, now her focus of the day has to be medals in the other disciplines. But it blows the door open. All sorts of things can happen in powerlifting, and we've seen it happen right here. You know, one of the favorites for today's competition has just missed all of those squats and is now out of the running. But don't go too far away. We've got plenty of action to come in the bench press in 20 minutes' time. Welcome back to Halmstad, Sweden for the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships, and it has been a fantastic few days of competition so far, and it just keeps getting better and better. Welcome back to the commentary box, Elliot Fieldman. We are going to take you through the 63 kilo bench press, and boy, have things changed here today. What has just happened in the squats?
You know, this thing has gotten a little bit crazy. You had your favorites coming in, and Cesara Tavares from Brazil, who coming into this, Masters world record holder, both equipped and classic in the squat, has bombed out in the squat. To make matters worse, Larissa Solovyova hit the open world record. Took her Masters world record away.
Yeah, look, it has completely changed the platform today, and the doors have been opened. We are about 50 seconds away from starting the bench press, even though that was a much cleaner yard than it was this morning, the 83 kilo man. To see Tavares miss all three squats today is absolutely heartbreaking, really.
Absolutely hard, and I don't understand why she took that jump, because even repeating that second attempt, instead of going for the existing world record is 241.5. 241.5 would have taken it. She called for 242.5, got smoked by it. And had she come back and hit her opener, I forget what she opened at 220 or whatever it was, she would still be in the running for the gold medal. Instead, she's kind of figuring out now, what's she going to do in the bench.
Yeah, now she's trying to refigure what her goals are now. She has to change her focus, change her plan. And we are underway here. Shan Tong Chow, Chinese Taipei, 90 kilograms on the bar. And welcome back to all our viewers all around the world. If you're not watching this on the Olympic Channel, you should be. OlympicChannel.com, broadcasting for the first time in history, and broadcasting it in high definition as well.
Well, and so that's also opened up the door for Aginagua, who came in, middle of the pack, bottom of the pack, to get up on the medal stand.
So there's all sorts of opportunities now. Now the key is for some of these ladies to be consistent in the bench press and just add those few kilos here and there. And 90 kilos goes on the board for Chow.
Yeah, Tavares was the one who was really going to push Solovyova if any of that was going to happen at all. Now with her out of there, everybody else is battling below her, and Solovyova can basically do whatever she wants. But again, her goal right now coming in should be that 626.5 to win champion to champions.
Yeah, I mean, she needs to really focus on doing a job on that opening lift, take the pressure off for the next two lifts. Then, in those next two lifts on each discipline, she can look at what does she need to lift to get that best overall lifter. But right now, Natalia Haranovska from the Ukraine, 112.5.
But the other thing is, Solovyova is opening here at 160. World record is 180. So she's well within, depending on what happens with that 160. But I still think her sights are set on 626.5.
Yeah, look, we talk about it all the time. World records, you can hold them for 5 minutes, you can hold them for 5 years. No one knows. No one can take a championship away from you. No one can take best lifter away from you. It's there to stay. And she nails 112.5.
So if you're champion of champions, that means there are 7 gold medalists in the women. That means you are the gold medalist of the gold medalists.
The best of the best. Cesara Tavares now from Brazil, 115. And it takes an absolute enormous amount of courage and conviction to come out and now focus on each discipline after missing those 3 squats. But if anyone can do it, this lady can.
Yeah, I mean, she's competed at the World Games multiple times. She is very, very experienced. Obviously, we said she had a Masters world record in both equipped and classic.
The great thing about experience is this isn't the first time, and probably won't be the last time this sort of thing happens. So you learn how to handle that sort of pressure. You learn how to deal with it when this does happen.
And at this meet last year in Pilsen, she went 120. So she's opening awfully close to that right now.
Has to work pretty hard to get to the lock. She gets it up there. Let's see what the referees say. And it's on the board.
All right,
And
three
she
white
will
lights.
breathe a sigh of relief now.
Here comes Alina Jurgensen. Now, one thing that we want to try to watch, remember she had that third attempt that she did not make. It was very, very taxing. One of the longest
Yeah,
attempts.
she really had to work hard for that, and that's really got to take some steam out of the tank.
It almost looked like a hard deadlift. In other words, you almost never see a squat completed that looks that tough and takes that long.
Certainly not an equipped.
No, so we'll see if that comes into play here in the bench press, but certainly in the deadlift to see if that's going to affect some of the moves that she can make.
Well, let's see her opening lift at 125. Dragging it down to get it to the chest. And she handles that quite well.
And she's still young in this sport, too. She is 33 years old.
Yeah, so she still has a very, very long way to go and develop.
Very young. She has the support of her family. Her husband, is...
Olga Adamovich from Russia, 125.
He trains also. He's in shape. So they're living that lifestyle in the household. But the other thing, she's young. Our top two competitors coming in here were both masters lifters. So at 33, when we say 33 is young in this sport, we mean it's young.
Yeah, look, and it just demonstrates what an incredible sport this is. If you look across a lot of the weight classes in both men and women, we've got a number of World Open champions that are M1, M2 lifters.
Well, it looks like right now, if Solovyova does what she needs to take over the lead in the Champion of Champions, that means first and second place will come from masters lifters.
Wow.
So the best of the best of the best are two masters lifters.
Lydia Zayats from Russia, 127 and a half.
So we also want to keep an eye on Adamovich. I haven't really seen much of her, but she's in position here to be sneaky quick and get in there.
She's she's just sort of playing her game, playing it quietly, not making too much noise, and no one's really watching her too closely. But she is in a very, very good position. If someone makes a mistake, she is looking to slide through up those rankings.
Yeah, and I think I'd want to stay there too. Lydia,
she's not. Her predicted overall total only puts her 5K away from second predicted.
Right, that's a nice attempt there by Lydia.
That was very, very well done at 127 and a half.
Nice and
It's
smooth.
one red light, but two whites puts it on the board.
Matilda Wilman, Sweden.
So Matilda Vilmar from Sweden, 135.
And look at Adamovich, what we were talking about. She's right behind Gara. I would rather stay, if I'm the Russians, I'd rather stay right behind the Italian and just lean on her. You're not gonna be able to take a shot at Solovyova if she gets a total in. You're just not going to. So your job, I'd rather stay right behind the Italian and lean on her a little bit. She does not have as much experience as a lifter as Adamovich. Their coaching staff isn't close to what the Russians are. So I would stay in that third position and just lean on Gara until she makes a mistake.
Yeah, she's just coming out, doing her job, not doing anything silly, and just waiting for an error or waiting for an opportunity to make a big pull to go past.
Right, and the reason I say that is Agonagua could come and take that bronze medal from Adamovich if she's trying to take the silver. So just pacing and leaning allows her to have a shot at the silver while still defending the bronze medal.
And Matilda puts that one on the board.
That's you get the both the best worlds.
Yeah, look, you need to be careful. It's all well and good going after the silver medal, but go too hard, too fast, and you end up losing your bronze.
All righty,
So
here
we
it
have
comes.
a Masters 2 record attempt from Mayumi Kitamura from Japan at 155. The current World Masters 2 record is 135. So she doesn't just want to beat the record, she wants to absolutely blow it off the planet.
Now realize, let's say she has just moved into this class, so this is the reason that she's able to annihilate this like this.
And she also has a great deal of conviction at this meet as well. It's quite an emotional meet for her.
I mean, her life mate is now literally fighting for his life in hospital, sitting there watching, hopefully watching her in the Olympic channel.
I'm not sure if you were able to see at home. We saw her walk off after her last squat, and it was quite emotional for her. Oh, she's having to work. But just couldn't quite get there. She gets it to the top and throws it back in the rack, but I think she'll make a few little adjustments to that shirt, get a little bit more speed off the chest, and I think you'll see her come out in the second attempt and absolutely smash that.
Yeah, and I mean for Kitamura, the issue is not that her mate is sick.
Oh, absolutely not.
The issue is, and here is how serious it is, folks. He may not make it back to Japan. That is what we're talking about there. He may not be healthy enough to ever leave Sweden and go home.
So it's quite emotional, but she will come back out, and we'll see. If you watch closely to her shirt, you'll see a few little adjustments. The sleeves will be twisted a bit more. They'll get some power out of that. But right now, Carola Gara from Italy, 157.5. Gets it to the chest, nice and smooth. That should be a good lift.
That's a heck of a lift right there for her.
3 white lights. And now Larissa Solovyova from the Ukraine, 160 kilograms. And 160 sounds like an enormous lift. It's not even our biggest opening lift.
No. And Gara's bench in there really helps her a lot. And that's another thing. You know, Adamovich, because 157.5 is just monstrous. It's pushing up on the world record, you know, a lot closer to the world record than Adamovich is. Don't chase that person. She went up 7.5 kilos. Don't run after Gara. You're not going to get there. Just make your attempts and hope she makes a mistake here in the bench press. Gara went up 5 kilos. Yeah, Adamovich went up 7.5.
And we've seen that this week, that the people, the ones that are winning the world championship, winning the overall gold medal, the ones that are sticking to their plan, they're not getting caught up in the games. They're not getting caught up in chasing someone. This is their plan. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to wait for my last lift. If I have to make a move or I can make a move, that's when I'll do it.
Yeah, and also right behind her is Aguinaga.
And she gets that on the board at 160.
Larissa's so clutch.
And now 165.
Watch her setup. And she's changed her setup a little bit over the last few years, the way her feet set. There you go.
So 165 goes on the bar for Aguinaga from Ecuador. This is a huge bench press. Just giving the spotter a little bit of instruction of how she wants to lift off.
And again, you know, that sitting here, Adamovich has an issue that the two women that she's worried about, Aguinaga and Gara, both have significantly larger benches than she and are more experienced benchers. So, you know, she needs to defend bronze more than she needs to go after silver here.
Yeah, so what she really needs to be doing is making very smart choices in the numbers, not trying to catch and make up ground, just trying to get the numbers on the board. And she gets 165 on the board. So we come around for our second round. Shang Tong Chow, 97.5.
A lot of green up there, man.
It is certainly looking good. 97.5 for Chow. She opened at 90, now looking at 97.5.
And again, the only miss that's up there is Kitamura, and some of that could be emotion.
I think she's going to come out and absolutely smash that 155. It really just did look like she just didn't get the power off the shirt she wanted to. So then had to really muscle it. 97.5 is on the bar though. And smashes 97.5. Wouldn't be surprised to see her to go 102.5 or even 105. And Natalia Aronovska from the Ukraine, 117.5.
Followed in 1 minute.
So this is a personal best, previously 110. I've seen her at so many competitions now. She just keeps getting better and better and stronger and stronger.
So young.
Yeah, she is our youngest lifter in this flight, born in 1998. So 20 years of age. So, realistically, as an open lifter, her career is just beginning.
We've also got Vilmar on here, who's a student who's only 2 years older than her. So there's some young lifters, young talent in here to take over.
Nails it at 117.5.
I mean, at some point, Solovyova's going to slow down. I'm not sure when that is. But at some point, Father Time always wins.
Yeah, and these are these are the future world champions. There is no doubt that she will be an open world champion. Tavares from Brazil, 125 now.
Father Time is 12 billion and 0. Never lost.
And he's looking good.
He's looking good. I think he might be the best of all time. He's the GOAT. But it at some point it starts to regress, and it has to. You don't know when it's going to be.
Powerlifting, you can live for a very long time, and everyone's that little bit different. But at some point, it starts to regress. We've seen, so many, particularly so many of the Eastern European Masters lifters lift in the Opens competitively, world champion-wise, for such a long time now.
Well, here you go. Tavares, Masters lifter coming in medal position. Has had a bad day today, will not register a total, but she took a shot at the World Open squat record.
And 125, just a little bit. Just couldn't get the speed off the chest there.
She is just not looking like herself.
Yeah, and she's getting up very, very slowly off that bench there. Very slowly, and the way she's walking off talking to a coach, it looks like she might have just twinged her shoulder a little bit there. But right now, Elina Jorgensen from Norway, 130 kilograms.
So again, getting closer. Elena is at 130. She's taking a 5 kilo jump from 125.5. It's good. Very conservative attempts. You want her to make lifts.
Gets the start command. You see how tight that shirt is across the chest there. Probably would like to get a little bit more speed off the chest than that, but she managed to carry the momentum through and muscle up the 3 white lights, and she is ecstatic.
And Elena has a legitimate shot at 5th place here. And I say legitimate shot because you have a number of lifters bunched around between 530 and 535 for those slots. 3rd position, just to let you know where that's going, is only 565.
And this is the current predicted 3rd position, Olga Adamovich from Russia, 132.5. So she needs to put this on the board. 1, she's got pressure coming from behind, trying to chase down that bronze medal. And 2, she wants to leave herself in a position to take a run at that silver medal when she gets to the deadlift.
And here's where it becomes the 2 I said who are in a little bit of danger.
And that looked so much better than her opening lift.
If you look at the top 4, right, Solovyova or Gara and Aguinaga, the ones that are bracketing Adamovich right now, okay? They're in 2nd and 4th. Gara in 2nd, Aguinaga in 4th. Adamovich is in 3rd. Neither one of them has a good deadlift. Solovyova in 1st and Adamovich in 4th have the Scud missile deadlifts there, and either one of them could pull a world record in the deadlift. So that's why I'm saying she just needs to pace her out.
We could see a complete change around for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. For right now, Lydia Zayats from Russia, 135 on the bar.
And again, a very, very young lifter. Same age as Vilmer. Only 2 years older than the Ukrainian.
And is Solovyova thinking about taking a run at the world record? She's put a 170 in for a second. Oh, plenty of speed off the chest.
Yeah, the referees are saying that
3 white lights for 135. Matilda Vilma from Sweden, 142.5. And Aguanaga has also put in a 170 for her second as well. 142.5 for Matilda Vilma from Sweden.
Watching Gara here in the warm-up room, standing, getting ready from the on-deck sheet. She doesn't even look a little bit nervous.
An absolute monster arch. And that should be a good lift. And it is 2 white lights. Now you hear us talk about their arch and their setup. If you're new to powerlifting, you've not really have anything to do with it, and you're looking at that arch and thinking, well, you know, is that good for them? That is actually better for their back than a flat bench. Right now, though, world M2 record at 155 for Kitamura from Japan. Now, she didn't quite get this on her first, but I really think it's about the suit position. If you look at her sleeves, they've twisted. You can see around the shoulders there, it's a little tighter. Yeah, watch her set up here. She'll have to really work her hands into position. As you can see, she's really got to sort of reef her arms across to get it onto the bar.
Yeah, and she also was not able to get her chest up. We always talk about the bubble, and you're going to hit the center of the bubble. She couldn't even get the bubble was kind of flat for her because she wasn't able to get that chest up. You have to chest up in that bench shirt.
As you can see, she gave some really clear instructions to the spotter then about the lift off. She might not have got the best lift off she wanted last time. Any little thing can make it difficult. That looks better. That looks better.
That's how her chest is up. You can almost see the crown.
Yeah,
of
that looked a lot better, and it is. It's a world M2 record. 2 white lights. It's on the board at 155.
Yellow. Let's see if it's for the foot or for the.
I think it's for the butt. Yeah, you can see the light come through there.
Butt is up.
Now, the thing about the butt too is if you're watching at home, your butt has to stay in contact, but the rules actually state that it doesn't have to be 100% of your butt. So you can get away with sometimes that little bit of lift, and you might get a red from one side, and that's okay. Right now, Carola Gara from Italy, 162.5. These are huge, huge bench presses today.
She hits this. It makes a lot of trouble for Adamovich.
Gets it to the top. And it's 2 white lights. It's on the board.
Obviously, the whole bar was going down.
Solovyova from the Ukraine now at 170. So this is a 10-kilo jump from 160 to 170. Well, her 160 looked fantastic.
You know, we were talking about coming out Solovyova, the 10-kilo jump. Talking about Adamovich just maintaining, coming out 3 for 3, picking up a few kilos here in the bench press. She went from 132.5 second to only 135 to pick up 2.5 keys.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really smart, mature move. That couple of kilos, better off getting 2.5 kilos on the board. She could take a crack at maybe 137 or 140, misses it. She's back down to 132.5.
No, but she needs to hold off Aguanaga.
Yeah, so
and then
her main aim here is to just hold off.
Well, hold off Aguanaga, get into third attempt deadlifts, and use a big pull, maybe a PR pull, possibly even a world record, to pass Gara and take the silver. So that's the plan right here.
Yeah, not doing anything silly. And that was absolutely smoked at 170.
Yeah, Solovyova's easy.
That was as quick as her opener.
So that puts her right now at projected what she's got on the board already, plus her deadlift opener. She'll be at 607.5. So she only needs now 19.5 kilos. I'm sorry, 19 kilos to win Champion of Champions.
Wow.
So she has, take her openers, she has 3 other attempts to make 19 kilos.
Well, right now, though, we've got Aguinaga from Ecuador, 170 on the bar. Now, it was only a 5 kilo jump for her from 165 opener to 170. And as we thought, Solovyova has put in a 180.5
there you
to
go.
chip that world record.
And she needs that 5. She wants that 5 there.
Gets the 170 up to the top.
She wants to take that world record back.
Now, Aguinaga gets the 170 back to the top, but I don't think there's that much left in the room. So I wouldn't imagine anything much more than 175. Might even be 172.5. We'll see. And we'll roll around now for our third attempts with Shan Tong Chow at 100 kilograms. I think she'll smoke this. She absolutely nailed 97.5, had plenty more in the tank. And I wouldn't have even been surprised to see her go 102.5. But she's put a 100.
So in what day do you think powerlifting, coming into the future, we've talked about she's going to smoke a lift. When will we be vaping lifts?
Well, I don't think it's very far away.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're certainly in the 21st century now, so we might be vaping lifts very soon. We might even introduce vaping lifts later this week.
Look at that.
And she absolutely nailed that one with 3 white lights.
So now we're going into thirds. And you're seeing we've had 2 missed attempts here. One was by Kitamura, who just didn't get her chest up. And again, she's got that issue with family. Tavares missed at 125. It's just not her day. So other than those 2, everybody's made their attempts now. We've had 23 attempts, only 2 misses.
Natalia Arlovska from the Ukraine, 122.5.
But coming up now, Solovyova at the end of this round, remember, is going to be taking the 180.5 to extend her own bench press world record by 5 kilos. That'll give her 618. She is then only 7.5 kilos away after opener. So she needs 7.5 kilos jump on her second attempt deadlift to be champion of champions. That's how good she is.
122.5 on the bar. Got a little bit loose at the bottom, but managed to
Natalia
recover.
looks really good. See, and that's where technique, you want to stick with your technique and push through the bar.
Yeah, look, her bench press is probably one of the most improved lifts technique-wise over the last 12 months, I think.
Definitely has.
Just the line of the bar has improved. The use of the shirt has improved.
See that? And she got stuck a little bit. Instead of flaring her elbows and trying to muscle it up and lock it out. And you need to drill this bench press enough and do enough lighter weight bench presses that you're so spot on that you can use your strength and push, and your supporting muscles and your supporting structures are so strong that they're able to hold you in proper form so you can drive with your strength. You can be as strong as an ox. You can be as strong as King Kong. If you don't have good technique and can apply that strength, you can't win here.
All right, now we have Tavares from Brazil, 125 on the bar.
Yeah, and she needs this here for her psyche, if nothing else. Her psyche, she wants to come here and hit this because she wants gold medal in the deadlift.
Just a little bit too much. Just couldn't quite get that 125. And she's getting up very slowly. I really think she twinged that shoulder in that last lift. She's walking off very tender. It'd be interesting to see if she actually does come out for her deadlifts.
She came into this meet more than likely looking open world record squat, open world record deadlift. try to do decently in the bench and take the silver medal home. And instead, that's where that changes really fast.
She's very beaten up now. Alina Jorgensen from Norway, 135.
And those misses at 220, then the massive jump to the world record, 242.5, which was well over the world record. It was 1.5 kilos over, just kind of killed her. And we said trying to make up and chase doesn't work. Even if you wanted silver, bronze was better than going home with nothing. And today she has nothing. Right now, Alina Jorgensen's up 135.
Wow, what a fight. She didn't get any speed off the chest at all. I'll tell you what, there wasn't much shirt in that one.
Yeah, I love watching Alina lift.
That was almost a raw bench, that one. Olga Adamovich from Russia now, 135, who is sitting in a really nice position here, but wants to put this one on the board. She wants to keep the door closed from behind and try and keep that door open in front. So this 135, it's only a couple more kilos, but it's a really important couple of kilos.
So Adamovich needs her. It's 2.5.
And that looked pretty good from this angle. And it is. That was a very important 2.5 kilos.
Right, and she's holding off Aguinagua right now. Aguinagua took a 5 kilo jump, but that 5 kilos by Aguinagua now moves her in the 4th. Adamovich hitting weights no matter what Aguinagua does here on her 3rd attempt bench, even though she benches 40 kilos more than Adamovich, she is going to wind up being 7.5 kilos behind going into at subtotal.
Yeah, so Adamovich is holding her very well at bay and just keeping close enough to that silver medal position that if an opportunity presents itself, she's going to go after it.
Well, and Adamovich hit that, so she's pretty much neutralized Aguinagua already, right? She's neutralized Aguinagua's ability in the bench press, and Adamovich way out deadlifts. They're not even close. They're not even in the same class.
And Lydia Zaitz with 140.
Wow, that is amazing.
And she handles that like an absolute professional. And just the professional that she is, just walks off, no smile. Still got a job to do, and she knows it.
Well, and she can take a shot at 4th, too. Because here's the thing. Aguinagua now is really in trouble. Adamovich has passed her solidly. And Aguinagua now has
World Junior record attempt for Matilda Vilmar at 150 kilograms. The previous World Junior record, 146. So she is going to try and blow this record out of the park. Her 135 looked great. Her 142.5 better. 150. Can she put a World Junior record on her resume? Good control of the chest. Good speed off the chest. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it looks good. And it is 3 white lights. Put that one on the resume. And the action's not over yet. Mayumi Kitamura now for 165, throwing on another 10 kilos on top of that record that she just broke.
Now, Kitamura obviously missed some squats, missed that 155 opener. If she makes this 165, she's still in contention for 4th place, possibly even bronze, depending on what happens. But Adamovich has been so smart in that bronze position right now, it's tough to get her out of there.
World M2 record, and you can see that chest panel of the shirt is pulled down. They have got as much out of this shirt as they possibly can for this weight.
Now let's see if she can get her chest up on this one as she did on the 2nd attempt.
It made such a difference.
155. That first attempt, she was more flat back. Couldn't really make use of the shirt, pull through the bubble on the shirt. I was talking about the bubble. It's just the shirt has a very narrow band where it works. One side or the other, about a bar's width spot on either side.
She certainly looks like she's getting up higher on this setup. It will depend on when they drop the bar onto her. Can she hold it there? Yeah, she's got a good position. Yeah! What just happened then? Let's see.
No.
She got plenty of power off the chest. We had a terrible angle that we were watching for there. Well, let's have a look at the replay and see what happened. Yeah, just came back into the racks. Just the shirt really took control. She got good power off the chest. The shirt took control. But she has the world record at 155. We've still got 3 lifters to go though. Gara from Italy, 167.5. And she is in second position. Missing this, she goes back to 162.5 and stays at 580, but it just keeps that door open a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
So she really wants to get on this board, just close the door a little bit more. So it doesn't seem like much, but 5 kilos can make all the difference. And
right.
that could cost her at the end.
All right, so here is the chance what I was saying that Adamovich has got to wait for. All right.
Well, there is now an opportunity now. So all of a sudden, the gap between Adamovich and Gara now is we're looking at 7.5 kilos. Now, if she had got that lift, we're looking at 12.5 kilos.
Big difference. That's what I said. You know, Adamovich needs to defend the bronze medal position.
Adamovich has played a really good tactic all the way through so far. Not getting caught up, not doing anything silly to try and chase down silver, just putting the numbers on the board. And now she goes into the deadlift, only 7.5 kilos behind the silver medalist. But right now, Aguinaga from Ecuador, 175. You know, 170 was clean but tough, and we didn't think she had much more in there. 5 kilos. Does she have the 5? And she does. I think they picked it well. I don't think there's much more there.
Yes,
2 white lights. And now coming up next, Solovyova from the Ukraine, 180.5 kilograms for a new World Open record.
So this will give her 618. Again, as we said, that's 7.5 kilos.
She doesn't have to make up much for that lifter of all lifters.
I'm sorry, 8.5 kilos.
Look how tight that shirt is. All right, here we go. 180.5 for a world record attempt in the bench press. Previous record 180, so she's just chipped that at 0.5 of a kilogram.
Three times her body weight.
180.5. The crowd has gone silent. She gets a good path down. Powers it off the chest. That should be a good lift. And it is. It's a new world record. What a way to close out the bench press session.
Unbelievable.
2 world records today in this bench press session. And the doors opened up as well. And it is going to be very interesting to see what happens now in the deadlift. We've got some opportunities making it possible, but we're going to be right back in 20 minutes to finish the action on the deadlift platform. So don't go away. Make sure you've got your coffee, your drinks, your snacks stocked up, and get ready for the rest of the afternoon. Welcome back to Humsted, Sweden for the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships 2018. And of course, a big shout out to all our sponsors, Alico, who just continuously raise the bar, the absolute world leaders in strength equipment. Uplift, one of the most exciting online coaching platforms ever to hit the market. And of course, SBD, squat, bench, dead, the finest powerlifting equipment you can get your hands on the planet. And we are a minute 20 away from kicking off the deadlift, and we have seen heartbreak from Tavares, who missed all 3 squats, who was certainly in a position to maybe challenge for that world deadlift record, and was certainly in a position as one of the favorites to take away the world championship, is now out of the race. But the door has opened. We've got certainly a changing of the guard, and we've got some opportunities for some lifters now. Adamovich from Russia is in a great position, currently in the predicted totals at 3rd, but in a very, very good position to maybe take a shot at that silver medal as well. So Gara's going to have to really do her job well. If she makes a single mistake, Adamovich is going to be right there to pounce and take the opportunity.
Well, and again, he said that she needed to sit there, defend the bronze, and then maybe attack on the 2nd or 3rd attempt deadlift to try to get in the second place.
She really has done it. We just saw her in the bench press. She just put 2.5 kilos on between a 2nd and 3rd attempt. Knew she could get it. Knew it would go on the board, and just add that little bit more to her lift. And
now we got Aguanaga behind her right now. After openers is only going to be behind by 2.5 kilos. So that's why she couldn't take a more legitimate shot at Gara. Plus, Gara came in and hit her bench.
Yeah, look, and she just can't take the risk. But right now, Natalia Aronovska from the Ukraine, 165. And you are looking at the deadlift of a future open world champion right here. 20 years of age, really so young in powerlifting, and so much room to develop, and she makes that look so easy. And it's on the board. Matilda Vilmar now 167.5.
Now, again, we're also looking here. One of the things we're looking here is for Solovyova. She changed her opening attempt deadlift. She went to 210, which will put her at 628. So what did I say she needed?
626.
Right. So she needed 626. She changed her deadlift opener by 10 kilos. She went from 200 to 210 to go from 618 to 628. In a second, I'll tell you why.
And Matilda puts 167.5 on the board.
So this opening attempt will give her the champion of champions, which is the gold medalist of the gold medalists. What she's really going for here, folks, she'll be at 628 after openers. She's looking for 651. She gets 651 or above, she breaks 700 Wilks. Never been done.
So she is chasing it down, and she's in the position to do that. Joanna Aguanaga from Ecuador, 170 conventional lift. We're seeing less and less conventional lift, but I love watching conventional.
Has never been done in a world championship.
Well, let's see if she can do it today. Mayumi Kuramara from Japan, 177.5, and having just broke the Masters world record. Now looking at 177.5. And the world records for this event for deadlift, 245 for the Open, 215 for the Juniors, 220 for the M1, and 195 for the M2.
Solovyova is the world record holder at 245. She hit it in the same venue where we were last year in Pilsen. She did it 7 years ago, however. She's not quite the same deadlifter she is. She's getting little bit older. She's now a masters lifter, and she's also, her back's been a little bit banged up, but I think she still has enough legitimately to go 651.
And she made that opening lift look very, very easy. Has she got her eyes on another world record? Lydia Seitz from Russia, 180 is on the bar.
You know, the nice thing about a session like this is we don't have to try to make stuff exciting. We really haven't at all this meet. What we're really doing, all we're doing is providing apt descriptions to let people know where it's going.
The excitement is happening all on its own. Yeah, we certainly haven't scripted any of this.
Not a bit. Not a bit.
And 180 looks very, very easy. Plenty of room to move. Alina Jorgensen from Norway, 187.5.
Jorgensen, Norway. Followed it 1 minute.
And there are just some competitors that you kind of fall in love with. You like to follow their style, and there's been a few through. Kim Rhino was one earlier, and Elena Jorgensen is another one for me that I just enjoy watching lift.
And there it is, 187.5 on the board. 3 white lights. And Gara from Italy, 192.5.
You know, I love a lot of the lifters that I say I really like to watch. You watch it will be the Norwegians, some of the Ukrainians, especially the Ukrainian women, because they demonstrate not only strength but amazing precision and the ability to replicate their form.
Yeah, being able to watch that technique, and we say so many times to athletes that every lift, regardless of weight, every lift should be the same.
So next lifter.
192.5 on the bar for Gara. She is currently predicted total in second position in the silver overall. But Adamovic is waiting, is lying in wait. So she puts 192.5 on the board. And Shan Tong Chu, Chinese Taipei, 195 goes on the bar. And these spotters and loaders, again, doing such a fantastic job, working hard all week so far. It is one tough job out there, spotting and loading. But they are flying through this today.
And after this, we have the three lifters coming up, the 3 heaviest deadlifts, who were the lifters coming in who looked like they were going to place first, second, and third. Tavares does not have a total in, but she can still win gold medal in the deadlift. Wow.
Handles 195 with no problems whatsoever. Olga Adamovic now 195. Now, as important as opening lifts are to put on the board, this is a really important opening lift because she wants to keep herself in that bronze medal position.
Yeah, and so she can stay in this bronze medal position. She really has no shot at Gara. That monstrous bench of 162.5 by Gara that she gutted out really changed that. That was, I think, 12.5 kilos.
A little hop, skip, and a jump there to make sure the bar doesn't land on her feet, but she puts it on the board.
That's going to be your World Master 1.
World M1 total record on an opening deadlift. 210 kilograms.
So this gives her the M1 total world record and champion of champions.
Here it is. 210 on the bar. No stranger to this sort of weight. Not a problem whatsoever. So she has the world total record. This gives her a big enough total to be in the current best lifter position. And Tavares now with 2:15. It'll be very interesting to see how she goes here. She got off the bench looking like she was having a few little shoulder issues. She got up very, very slowly. Well, let's see if it's affected her deadlift at all.
That's 651. So if she goes 700, that is well breaking her total world record of 641. This next pull will give her an open record right now. Cecilia Tavares trying to get gold medal in the deadlift to kind of salvage something for the day here.
She knew that was coming up before it was there. Bit of a smile and pokes the tongue out.
Yes.
3 white
There you
lights
go.
on the board, aiming to salvage something from today. And we come around now for the second round. Natalia Haranovska from Russia, from the Ukraine, sorry. 175 on the bar. She handled 165 with no problems. And
Yeah.
the coach there just motioning, he just wants the bar clean.
That's a lot of green right there in that board,
Yeah,
guys.
all
Lots
of these
green.
ladies getting their opening lifts, which is fantastic.
So-
And this will be a personal best for this young lady. 175. She is another great junior lifter that is fantastic to watch, has a great technique, and it's only going to get better and better.
Yeah, some of the fun here is watching these lifters grow up, and you know, in the U.S. we've got people on. Oh, there we go.
You know, we are extremely privileged. So, of course, thanks to the IPF for always giving us the best seat in the house, and we get to watch these lifters develop and grow over the years.
But you've seen 2 or 3 people come on here really well, and it's good to be able to, you know, meet talent and kind of bring it along, because I try to do that.
Going by the noise in here, you can only guess that it's a lifter from Sweden, Matilda Vilmar, 175 for a second.
Goodness great, you know, and she is a student, so she's still in university age.
Yeah, another young lifter. Has to work to lock it. Don't know if she did. No,
Nah,
she
she did
couldn't
not.
quite lock it at the top.
No.
I think she'll hit that on her third attempt, though.
But I'm gonna tell you that was
So Johanna Aguinaga from Ecuador now, 180.
Now this she makes this,
180,
moves her in front
Ecuador.
of Adamovich by by 7.5 kilos. However, Adamovich makes hers. She's back in the lead by 2.5 kilos. So that's where we're trying to pace there. That's why we're
It
saying.
is going to come right down to the
And
wire for that medal.
remember, Adamovich took, what was her jump in the bench press from second to third?
Yeah, she took quite
Yes,
a large
that
jump.
was a good lift.
Well, from
Oh,
first
for
to
second and third, she
second
took
to-
only 2.5
2.5
kilos.
kilos.
And that could be what makes the difference here.
Japan, bar loaded, 1 minute.
So now we have
New Master 2 world record.
Kitamura from Japan. I said earlier that she's eyeing off another world record, and she is, because this is a World Masters total record. M2 total record. She's looking to pull 185. Current M2 total record is 540. She'll be going 542.5. And the world deadlift record is 195. She may even be eyeing off that as well. And the crowd silences, waiting for this attempt. Yeah, it looks good.
That is easy. That looks like a world total record right there.
And it is 5:42.5 for a world total record. We're really waiting to see what she puts in for a third attempt now. Is she going to have a crack on that last pull for the world deadlift record as well? But right now, Lydia Seitz from Russia, 190 kilograms.
I mean, Tavares right now has the inside track at the gold medal and the world record in the deadlift. The reason I say that is Solovyova's here coming to do another work. She's got a whole nother job, right?
And if Lydia gets this on the board, it'll add 5 kilos to her personal best. Her opening lift looked great.
Again,
that one looked good too.
Again, university student.
So many young lifters. Yeah, these are the future of powerlifting right here. And Alina Jorgensen from Norway, 200 kilograms.
No, and if you want to see a lifter who went from a collegiate or university athlete and in a few years is coming out and will soon dominate the opens, you got to see Kelsey McCarthy in the 72 kilos, who I just saw grow up, who I saw the first time I ever met her, just spotting and loading. I was chief referee, and I went, she's going to be a champion. Had no idea who she was. But I know she outloaded the guys. And the guy's on her own university team, by the way.
Well, here is Alina Jorgensen with 200 kilograms.
Wow.
Having to really work for it. She hasn't stopped yet, but just can't quite hang on to it. Great work from the spotters and loaders there. Sometimes in the deadlift, you're putting so much into it. The intra-abdominal pressure. You get a bit of a head spin as you put the bar down, all that blood rush. The spotters did a fantastic job then and made sure they were right there for her.
Yeah, there's a real simple way to not do that. Obviously, she dropped it, but there's a lot of deadlifters who will finish a deadlift and then pass out. The easiest way to do that is maintain your pressure, stay bent over, relax that pressure slowly, and then stand up. What happens is when that inner abdominal pressure is up and you stand up quickly, it literally sucks the blood out of the head for a moment, and that's why that happens. So if you can do that, if you have an issue where you get dizzy or kind of fall over after a completed lift, hang onto the bar for a second and release slowly.
And Gara with 202.5, lightning fast for a personal best.
I am so impressed with her. Like, amazingly impressed with her.
Now, Olga Adamovich from Russia now looking at 205, and this is probably her most important lift of the competition. Needs to put this one on the board to hold on to that bronze medal position. And then she has the opportunity to know what she's got to do to keep it in the last lift. Gets it straight to the top. A little bit mistimed, but absolutely spot on the money to get 3 white lights.
You know, I think Gara is another one of these classic lifters who switched over to equipped, and it's just amazing where she is.
Chang Tong Chow from Chinese Taipei, 207.5.
I mean, she's going to smash her total if she makes this third attempt deadlift, smash it by 14 kilos.
Taking her time with this one. That should be a good lift from what we can see.
Beautiful.
And it is 3 white lights.
225 kg on the bar.
Solovyova now from the Ukraine, 225 kilograms on the bar. This will put her at 643 total.
So this now...
And a world total record as well.
You are watching a historic performance.
She is going for the hat trick.
Possibly the greatest performance in the history of the IPF. This 225 will give her the world record world total record will put her in striking distance of the world deadlift record and a 700 Wilks. Talk about a day.
And that moved pretty fast. So she gets the world total record. She is well out beyond what she needed to secure or hold on to a best lifter position performance.
All right.
And now she makes some decisions whether she goes for a world record. Is she chasing it? Does she have the 700 in the tank?
Yeah, the funny thing, does she have 700 in the tank? Well, she needs 8 kilos, and she just put 10 on the bar.
Right now, Tavares with 225.
Now, Tavares has the advantage here, talking about for gold medal. She makes this because she has the lower lot number. Higher lot numbers lift last. She probably wants to win gold. She's going to put in something high. Solovyova hits the 235. She'll go to 237.5 for the gold.
Yeah, she wants the gold medal. She wants to salvage something from today. She gets it to the top. There's not a whole lot of room left to move.
Yes.
We'll see what she does. She'll put in a high number. She's going to pull for it anyway.
Right now, I would put in like just 240. I mean, Solovyova's not playing with anything.
She is going to pull for it anyway.
I mean, Solovyova, the 235 caps off her day. That's what she's taking down a bit more, right, than what she needs here.
All right, we're now round for our third round now. Natalia Haranovska from the Ukraine, 180 kilograms.
1 minute. Haranovska, Ukraine. Vilmar, next lifter.
So I think Tavares only put in 230, which is fine. Who knows? She may not have it there, but now here's the issue. Let's say she wants to jump down and try to take gold. Who is in first place right now? She's in first place.
Yeah, she's currently holding the gold medal position.
So that's why she's doing that. Solovyova's not missing that 235, though, because she wants that 700 Wilks. This is more than just pulling for the gold medal in a discipline.
But right now, this young lady, Natalia from the Ukraine, 180, just got a little bit offline as it came past the knees there, but she has been fantastic today.
20 years old.
Got to be happy with that performance today at the Open World Championships. And Matilda Vilmar from Sweden, 182.5.
Followed 1 minute, Matilda Vilmar, Sweden.
182.5 on the bar for the world junior total record. She already has 552.5, 537.5. This will put her at 552.5 and the world junior total record. What a great way to finish the day if she can get this. And she gave it everything she had. Acknowledges the crowd.
Now here comes something I want you to look at. Aganaga's coming out here now. Adamovich held her off, right? Tried to come in. Aguinaga came to her house trying to sell her subscriptions to magazines. She kicked her out.
Look, Adamovich did a really, really good, played a very, very mature game today. She said, I'm just going to do my job. I'm just going to do what I'm going to get the little bits on the board where I need them. Right now, Joanna Aguinaga from Ecuador for a personal best lift of 187.5. She's got it past the knees, pushes the hips through.
That is awesome right there.
And she takes it to the top. And it's on the board with 3 white lights. And Mayumi Kinomura from Japan, 192.5, world M2 total record. She just broke it. Now she's going to absolutely destroy it and take it to 550. Opted not to go for the world deadlift record, which is currently 195.
Adamovich just changed from 215 to 212.5.
All right, here we go. World M2 total record for the second time. She smashed it on her second lift, and now she's going to absolutely destroy it. $192.5. She's not going to quit. She's got it to the top. I think she'll get this. And she does 3 white lights.
You know, what a heck of a way to come back.
That is a great way to finish your day.
She got beat up in the squat. You know, she missed that opener. She missed the opener in the bench. Obviously, she's got a lot of stress. Her mates here in the hospital might not be able to make it ever back home to Japan. But, you know, she's celebrating that, at least their life together with an M2 total world record. Just absolutely amazing day to come and do that. Folks, most of you people wouldn't go to work in the same situation. She is now the best M2 lifter in the history of the world.
Well, it doesn't finish yet because Lydia Zaitz from Russia now is looking at a world junior total record. She's lifting 192.5, and this will give her a 552.5.
If that's a good lift, it's going to be a new junior world record attempt in total.
There's always so much action in these last deadlifts. People are pulling to jostle through positions, and to do that, they've got to pull records.
Come on up.
And it's all the way to the top. That looked like she had that handled so easily. 3 white lights for a world junior total record. Alina Jorgensen now looking at 200 kilograms. She missed this on her second lift. Wants to put it on the board and finish on a high note. And Elliot just mentioned before all that excitement started that Adamovic has changed her third attempt to 212.5.
You know, I think I understand too why Tavares put in that 230. I think she wants to try and leave Chow in there at 225 to pull, and then she gets to pull, change it, whatever she needs to pull to try to pull for that silver medal possibly.
Right now, Alina Jorgensen from Norway, 202.5. So she put in a late change there before bar loaded was called. And went from 200 to 202.5. She certainly wasn't going to quit on that. She gave it everything she could. She walks off smiling.
All right, now here's an issue here. Gara right now stands at 592.5. She's taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 210, leaves her at 600. If she misses this attempt, that's going to give her a 592. Right now, Adamovic stands at 572.5. She changes that 212.5 to a 227.5. She moves into the silver medal position. Gara has to make this.
And the advantage Adamovic has there is she is safe in that bronze medal position.
Because she held off. This is what we said even in the squat. Solidify bronze, hold off fourth, and then take a shot at second on your last pull. It's exactly what we said was going to happen.
Well, let's see what the referees say. No.
All right, so the door is wide open now. Adamovic will change. If she does not change, I don't understand it. Third is hers right now. No, I'm sorry. She's got to jump up. Made math wrong. Aguinaga.
No, it's. I think she'll stay at the 212.5. It's too big a risk.
Yeah, it's
we
too
just,
big of a risk.
just missed a number there. So
My mistake.
Aguinaga would actually be in a position if she missed the lift to take over that bronze medal. So Adamovic will stay at the 212.5. And she really, really needs to put this one on the board.
And again, that 2.5 kilos, she'd have to do 215.5 instead.
She's got it moving fast. Oh, she's got to work for the lockout. She gets there. Should be a good lift, and it should be the bronze medal, and it is. She will go home today with a bronze medal at the World Championships here in Halmstad, Sweden.
I love it when the plan comes together.
That's a good one. She will take the bronze
Shan
medal.
Tong Chow, 215 kilograms. And Tavares has put in a change to 235 already.
There you go. She wants to get in the back of Solovyova. Solovyova has to pull first. I said she would go to change. Solovyova now just changed to 237 and a half. She's going, forget total world record. I want total world record and deadlift. Now,
215 at the bar for Shang Tong
now,
Chow.
here becomes the thing. If she doesn't make that 237.5, she loses that 700 Wilks. You got to decide what you want to do.
Yeah, it's which one do you want more? You want the gold medal in the deadlift, or do you want that 700 Wilks?
I think I'm going to want something that's never been done before.
And here comes Shang Tong Chow. I love how she walks out there and she takes all this time just to focus the mind, get her body and mind in the right position, working together. And it's just a little bit too much today. She's put in an amazing effort today. Well, we've had a late change
now
again,
she dropped
so
down
she's
to 232 and a half.
So it'll be a world total record. She's dropped that to 232 and a half. So
I don't know.
Solovyova now lifting 232 and a half, and we've just seen Tavares change hers to 232 and a half now.
It's going to also be 700 points by Wilks.
So this will give her
700
a 700
Wilks.
on the coefficient that we use to work out best lifters.
And that's what we said here.
And that was a very, very smart move to drop back to 232 and a half.
Look,
at 237 and a half might have been just too much, and you lose so much.
Well, right now, she, going for the deadlift gold medal would have been silly. She has the chance to be this sport's Roger Bannister, who broke the 4-minute mile.
That's right.
She's breaking the 700 Wilks.
She has the world championship in the bag here. Now she's pulling for that 700 that's never been done. And I think she just lost her balance at the top. That is disappointing for her.
All right, that
she
gives
got it to the
Tavares.
top.
Now Tavares already has the gold medal in the deadlift.
So now Tavares pulls for 232 and a half. She has the gold medal secured in the deadlift, salvaging something out of a day that went so terribly wrong for her earlier. But now after pull 232 and a half, she has the gold medal in the deadlift. This is just the icing on the cake for her. But Solovyova is your world champion with 643. Gara, silver medal, 592.5. And Adamovic managed to play it very, very well to hold that bronze medal at 580. But right now, 232 and a half, gold medal in the deadlift. I think everyone here wants to see her finish with this gold medal after the morning she had.
She's already your gold medalist. She wants to put some icing on this cake here. I mean, she's not going to be happy after this performance, but she's not going to be miserable if winning this gold medal.
She'll take something home with her, so that will be a bonus. And it's just a bit too much. She's had all sorts of trouble today.
I thought it was back earlier too. I think back and
shoulder problems. She's had back. She's had all sorts of trouble.
I think that.
But you know what? She gave it everything she had. She didn't scratch any of her lifts. She could have easily scratched the lifts afterwards and walked away and said, today's not my day. But she came out and she fought tooth and nail all the way through. And what an event this has turned out to be.
Unbelievable. What you just saw from Solovyova is one of the greatest performances of all time in the history of the sport. The fact that she didn't come away with the 700 doesn't mean anything.
She comes away with the World Championships. Most likely best lifter. I can't see anyone beating that at the end of this week.
Masters world record squat. Open world record bench. Open world record total. She is champion of champions and came within a hair's breadth, a balance point Off of 700 Wilks.
Almost got it. Well, don't go too far away. At 5 p.m. local Swedish time, we'll be right back here for the 93 kilo men, 19 lifters battling it out just to see what comes out the other end. And I'm sure the action will be just as good then.
Woof, woof, see ya.
people are going to hand over the medals. Of course, it's Mr. IPF President, Mr. Gaston Ferrage. Give him a round of applause, please. And also the CEO from Airlift, Mr. Nasif Shedraf. And all the lifter will have and over a small glass memory. So we can do the medals for the squat. Bronze medal goes to Italy and Carola Cara, 227.5. Silver medal goes to Russia and Olga Adamovic, 232.5. Russia. The gold medal goes to Ukraine and Larisa Solovyova, 237.5 kilo. Photos. Zira, thank you. And for the bench press, bronze medal goes to Italy, Carola Cara, 162.5. Silver medal goes to Ecuador, Johanna Aguinana, 175. Gold medal goes to Ukraine and Larisa Solovyova on the new world record in bench 180.5. Photos. Thank you. I see that. Deadlifts. Bronze medal goes to Russia and Olga Adamovic, 212.5 kgs. Silver medal goes to Ukraine and Larisa Solovyova, 225 kgs. And the gold medal goes to Brazil and Cicera Tavares, 225 kgs on lighter body weight. Photos. Thank you. Total bronze medal goes to Russia and Olga Adamovic, 580 kilo. Silver medal goes to Italy and Carola Cara, 592.5. And the gold medal and world champion from Ukraine, Larisa Solovyova, on the new world record in total, 643 kgs. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand up for the national anthem of Ukraine? Thank you. Would you please give all of it for a round of applause now when they